Hi, I'm Myles here at Fabricana, and today I'm going to show you how to make this awesome little sandwich bag or snack pouch. A lot of people today are really concerned about the environment, so they're looking at ways of doing reusable sandwich bags instead of disposable ones. So we've selected a really cute little cotton print, and we're using a laminated, polyurethane laminated print for the inside lining of the bag. So the reason we selected the fabrics that we have is it's a nice cotton with a food-safe polyurethane laminate on it, and we have a nice cotton that's going to coordinate. This is all totally washable, so you don't have to worry about the future, and also just keep in mind with the polyurethane laminate that we can't iron the fabric. For today we're making a sandwich bag. We're giving you the dimensions for that. If you want to make a smaller or larger bag, you can alter the dimensions to your choice. So let's get started. So we've gone ahead and cut out our rectangles. I have this beautiful laminated cotton, a polyurethane laminated. I've cut it 9.5 inches wide by 17 inches long. I've cut out the exact same size in this really fun cotton print. I've got my really nice bright zipper ready to go. Now it's an 8-inch zipper for the size bag that I'm doing, and you notice that it's a 9.5-inch tape, and that's why I've cut the fabric at 9.5 inches wide, because I want it exactly the same length as the tape. If you want to make a larger bag, you can get a larger zipper, but just make sure that the width of your fabric is the same length as your zipper tape. So to prepare our little project for the sewing machine, the first thing we need to do is line up the edge of the zipper tape with the edge of the laminated fabric. That's going to be our lining. So you want to make sure that you've got your teeth up and you've got the edge of the zipper lined up with your laminated fabric. And then we're going to take the other fabric with the face going down on top of our laminated fabric, and we're going to line up the edge of that with the edge of the zipper tape and the laminated fabric. And we're going to put some pins in, and we'll meet you at the sewing machine. So we have our zipper pinned in place between the two fabrics. Notice that I've opened the zipper part way down because we can't sew past the zipper head, so I've moved it out of the way for the time being. I would recommend using a zipper foot. I can't find mine right now, so I'm just using a regular presser foot, and I've moved my needle over. But I would recommend, if you're doing this at home, to use your zipper foot. So I've taken out the first pin. I'm just going to line up my presser foot with the edge of my teeth. Then I'm going to start sewing with a back stitch. And I'm going to continue sewing, removing the pins as I go and keeping those three edges, the zipper and the two layers of fabric, lined up with each other. And when I get close to the head, I'm going to close my zipper to get the head out of the way. We'll just keep going here. So I'm getting close to that point. I'm going to put my needle in the down position. I'm going to reach under my fabrics here and close my zipper. So now that head is out of the way. Keep those edges lined up. Remove the last pin. And I'm going to make sure that all these edges are lined up. Continue sewing right to the end of my fabric and put in a nice strong back stitch. So once we've sewn that seam by our zipper, we're going to actually turn it all around so that we can see our zipper. And because we can't iron, because we're using a laminated fabric, we're going to top stitch through all these layers so it all stays in place. We're going to top stitch really close to that edge. Again, before we get to that zipper head, we're going to put our needle down, raise our presser foot, push the head out of the way, and continue sewing right off the edge. So at this point, we have our zipper at the top, nicely top stitched. We've got our two fabrics kind of with wrong sides together, so the right sides are facing out. Now we want to stitch the other side of the zipper. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our laminated fabric and fold it in half, bringing the edge to the edge of our zipper. We're going to turn that over, and now we have our beautiful printed fabric on top. We're going to fold that in half, and we're going to line that edge with the edge of our zipper. We're going to pin it like we did before, and then we're going to head to the sewing machine. All right, so we've got our zipper pinned in place with the three layers, the laminate, the zipper, and the cotton. Again, we're going to line up the edge of our presser foot with the teeth of the zipper. We're going to back stitch to start. We're going to continue sewing down. We're going to have that same issue with the zipper head. So I'll sew as far as I can until I get close to the head, and then I'll have to move it out of the way. So once we finish that seam through the zipper, what we're going to do is wrap the cotton fabric around the whole project, basically turning it inside out, because now we need to top stitch the zipper like we did before. So if we open our zipper all the way, that makes it much easier to access the part we want to sew. So if you're keeping up with what we've done so far, we have a little, kind of like a tube with a zipper in it, with the cotton fabric on the outside and the laminated fabric on the inside. So what we want to do now is we need to sew up those sides. So we're going to turn our loop inside out. And I don't want the zipper right at the top because that's going to get kind of bulky. So we're going to offset the zipper about 1 inch from the edge of the bag. This can be approximate. You just want to make sure it's the same at both sides. Then I'm going to sew 1/4 inch along those raw edges. So I'll meet you at the sewing machine to do that. So we're going to sew 1/4 inch seam allowance. So for me, that's just kind of the edge of the presser foot, maybe not quite the edge. I'm going to back stitch. Now you'll notice that I'm sewing the open end of the zipper end first. And that's because I'm going to need to open the zipper in order to turn the whole bag inside out. So we're going to sew this one closed first. And we can open the zipper and sew the other end, and we'll still be able to turn our bag inside out. So like I mentioned, in order to be able to turn the bag inside out, we need to open the zipper. So I'm going to do that. Reach in here, open zipper, so now we have a hole in order to turn our bag inside out. So here we have our little pocket inside out. Before we turn it right side out, we want to trim the little corners. So we're going to do all 4 corners. Then we're going to turn our bag right side out. Those corners turned around. And then we're going to roll those seams around, and then we're going to finish the bag by stitching 3/8 of an inch. So the inside of the bag is nice clean finish. We don't have any raw edges on the inside. And then we'll be done. So I'll meet you at the sewing machine for the last step. So again, because we can't press our fabric, we really want to make sure that our seam is rolled around and laying flat before we start stitching. So now we're going to stitch a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And start at the end, do a nice back stitch so it's nice and secure. We're going to continue kind of rolling that seam around so we don't lose any size on our bag. And so we know that all of those raw edges inside are getting enclosed in this French seam. Now I want everyone to be very careful when we start getting close to the zipper that we don't stitch into the hardware of the zipper and break our needle. So please take extra caution when you're getting close to the zipper. I'm going to slow down actually, and I'm just going to walk my needle past that point, and then I'll continue and end the seam with a nice back stitch to keep it secure. We're going to do the same procedure on the other side, and then we'll show the finished product. So here we finished our little side seams. We've got our zipper totally operational, which exposes our beautiful polyurethane laminated fabric to keep our food fresh. If you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it, please join us on Facebook and Instagram to follow more projects like this. I think I'm ready to head to the grocery store and find some stuff for a sandwich, so I'll see you soon.